Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's Grand Theft Auto 5 video, we're going to be taking a look at where the main characters live in real life. That's right, we're going to be taking a look at Trevor's trailer, Michael's mansion, and Franklin's Hillside house, and where they are in real life. So, as you'll probably find out in a little bit throughout watching this video, Los Santos and Los Angeles are very similar. But at the same rate, they're also incredibly different. In particular, Los Santos is much smaller than Los Angeles. Obviously, Rockstar could not build a full-size scale city and put it in their game. And honestly, I don't even think something like that is possible. So, there are going to be some differences in size and scale, but we're going to be doing our best to find where these houses and trailers, in Trevor's case, are in real life. So let's start with Trevor. And what I wanted to do is find particular landmarks that would be easy for us to identify in real life, thus making it easy to find where they actually live. So near Trevor's trailer, there's two particular landmarks that stand out to us. The first is the gas station right in front of his house. So as you'll see in a little bit, this is very helpful for us. This is one of the biggest buildings in Sandy Shores, which in real life is actually called Desert Shores. You'll see that in a little bit. And then number two is the Alamo Sea. The Alamo Sea is right next to Trevor's house. It's just a short walk away. And as you'll see in real life, the Salton Sea is very close to his trailer as well. So those are the two things we're doing. And that's what we're going to be doing for every house or every place we're looking for today, is trying to create a triangle of iconic locations so that we can find it a little bit easier. So let's find Trevor's trailer, and it's located in Desert Shores. So Sandy Shores is a parody of Desert Shores, and the gas station right in front of his house is called Lorenzo's gas station. So let's actually zoom in on that right now, and you can see, looking at the street view, that's pretty similar to the exact gas station we can see. So by that knowledge, we can tell that Trevor's trailer should be located right behind it. And if we scoot over a little bit, it looks like that's exactly where it is. So in real life, it's this like pink shed or pink trailer or pink little building, but it's pretty crazy how accurate that is. You've got that gas station, and then directly behind it, you've got the trailer that Trevor ultimately lives in. So that is incredibly cool right there. Now, you can see if we zoom out a little bit just how close it is to the Alamo Sea. I mean, it is pretty close. In real life, it's called the Salton Sea once again. So that's where those differences take place. So Trevor's trailer was relatively easy to find in real life, once again, right behind Lorenzo's gas station. I'm sure you guys are going to be asking, well, where are other things like Mount Chiliad, or where are other things like that Salvation Mountain? If you guys are interested in Salvation Mountain, it's on like the other side of the Salton Sea. It's actually located near, I think it's called Stab City or something like that. It's legitimately called Stab City. So that's where Salvation Mountain is actually located. It's on the complete other side of the sea. So not as close to Trevor's trailer as it is in game. But that's pretty cool right there. That should give you a pretty good idea of not only what the real life Sandy Shores looks like, which is, believe it or not, a place you can actually visit, but also where Trevor's trailer is supposed to be located in real life too. Now, let's take a look at Franklin's Hillside house. I think you could argue that Franklin has the nicest house in the game. You'd have to kind of compete with Michael for that. But Franklin didn't start there. He moved up to this house about a third of the way through the game, which is pretty cool. Now, there's a couple things that we can identify here that should lead us to Franklin's house. Number one is this dam that is actually located right behind his house. So this lake in real life is called the Hollywood Reservoir. So I'm not exactly sure what it's called in game, but needless to say, there's this giant curved wall that prevents a bunch of water from tumbling down a hill. So he lives pretty much right in front of that. There's also two other things as well. You have the Galileo Observatory, which is the Griffith Observatory in-game. And then you have the Hollywood sign, which is the Vinewood sign in-game. So that right there is three iconic locations that we can sort of triangulate and pinpoint Franklin's house to. Although, this is where things start to get a little bit tricky, because in real life, if we take a look at the Hollywood Reservoir, Franklin's house and houses don't exist anywhere near that wall, probably for obvious safety reasons. So that kind of throws a wrench into our entire equation. And there's also issues when it comes to the location of the Griffith Observatory and the Hollywood sign, because not only are they flipped in-game, but they're also really not even anywhere close to the Hollywood Reservoir, that lake in which Franklin's house lives near. So we're going to have to get creative here, and that's ultimately what I did. So then we'd have to look at the structure and the shape of Franklin's house, which also isn't the easiest because it looks very similar to a ton of very wealthy rich people Hollywood homes that you can find there. But it's basically this pretty long 2-story house with a nice big pool in the backyard. And I was able to find a house location actually side by side to each other that could work really well. So this is the street they were on. I don't particularly think that matters because you can find this on Google Maps or Google Earth if you really want to. But those two houses right there seem to be pretty perfect. They've got medium-sized pools in the backyard. They seem to be sort of 2-story houses, and they're located kind of on the same style of street. I'm pretty confident that Rockstar probably took a handful of design inspirations when creating Franklin's millionaire hillside house. But at the same rate, I think that these look awfully similar in terms of their styling in the backyard, the little bits of grass that you can see back there for someone like Chop to hang out in, but of course that big massive pool and hot tub that is so iconic of Franklin's backyard. Obviously the interiors are going to be completely different and there's no way to determine which those are, but I still think that this is pretty exciting, and this is roughly not only where Franklin's house would be located, but also what Franklin's house would look like as well. So that's pretty cool. And now we have covered 2 of the main protagonist homes. And that leaves us with Michael. So Michael's house was the hardest to find. So in game, Michael lives in a pretty wealthy 2-story mansion. In his backyard, he has a pool and a tennis court. And his house is kind of unique as it's completely separated from everyone else's. It's surrounded by hedges and it's gated, which is pretty rare to find in Los Angeles, to be that separated from everyone else. So there's 3 things that Michael lives kind of in a triangle towards. The first is the Rockford Hills sign. So in real life, this is the Beverly Hills sign. It looks very, very similar. So that's the first thing he lives near. The second thing he lives near is the golf club, which in real life is the Los Angeles Country Club. He lives kind of right near that as well. And the third thing is Eclipse Towers. So believe it or not, Eclipse Towers is an actual thing. Like, I'm not even joking. Eclipse Towers is a real life apartment building that you can visit if you want. It's actually called the Sierra Tower Apartments. He lives right near that. So those are the 3 things we're going to be looking for when ultimately trying to find Michael's house. Now, the reason this is tricky is for 2 reasons. Number 1, there's a lot of rich people that live near Michael's area, so finding houses with a swimming pool and a tennis pool in the backyard isn't uncommon. In fact, about 60 to 70% of the people that live in this area have a swimming pool and a tennis court in their backyard, which made this incredibly difficult. But one of the things that I tried to do was obviously get geographically close to not only the Eclipse Towers, the Rockford Hills sign, and the golf course, but he's also right on a main road. He's right close to Sunset Boulevard in real life, which is what I wanted to go for right here. So the final street that I ended up going on was North Elm Drive, and I picked the last 2 houses right on the end for a couple reasons. Number 1, they're gated. Number 2, they're surrounded by hedges, but they also look similar to his house as well, and they have that massively iconic swimming pool and tennis court in the backyard, which obviously is incredibly important if we're going to be IDing Michael's house. So if Michael lived in a house in real life Los Angeles, this is just about where he would live right here. And this is his house, or at least a rough version of his house in game. Like I said, I'm sure Rockstar took from many different wealthy people that have homes with swimming pools and tennis courts in their backyard. But this is a rough idea of not only where Michael lives, but what his house would look like too. Anyways, I thought this was an incredibly fun video to make. I've always thought it was fascinating how close Rockstar get things to not only real life California, but Los Angeles and beyond, and how they've translated that into Grand Theft Auto 5 and even Grand Theft Auto Online. So let me know in the comment section down below if you'd like to see me try and find other places of interest. I want to try and make them a little bit less obvious. Like, for example, anyone can find the Hollywood sign, or anyone can find the Griffith Observatory, stuff like that. But finding a place like that where our three main characters lives is a little bit more unique and certainly a little bit more different. So let me know in the comment section down below what you thought of this video. If you did go on to enjoy, a like rating would of course be awesome. And also subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new or you like daily GTA 5 videos like this. With all the way, guys, like I said, thanks so much for watching. Take care. I'll see you guys in the next video.